Okay, are we good to go? Make sure that I can read comments. Okay. Hello, everyone, and good evening. We hope that you all have had a wonderful beginning of your week now that Memorial Day weekend is past. Now that the actual Memorial Day is gone by, the day is now Monday, closing out. That was Monday, closing out Wednesday. Excuse me. And just want to make sure that um, I come on so that we can let you all know how we're doing and give you all a brief update. First and foremost, we're doing well. And thank you so much. It's good to be back. We're just trying to play catch up and get things back underway again. We have quite a bit that we have to catch up on. However, nonetheless, um, again, welcome back, everyone, and hope that you are having a beautiful evening and enjoying your night so far. I did just get a chance to, I have not looked at any videos yet. I have not looked at or listened to any recordings as of yet. I do have all of the recordings from the weekend of Mr. Cunningham. And um, again, I've been told a few things about some of them, but I don't want to give any commentary until I've actually heard them for myself. Um, so we have a bit going on that yeah, is going to be coming out a little bit later. However, with that said, we're glad to have the bit of a break. Um, I did just get a chance to look at the itinerary, Mr. Cunningham's itinerary, and where he's expected to be over the next few days, few weeks, um, month, month and a half or so. And I understand that that was actually shown on here as well. You all have seen now that we had a couple of our um, committee members join in and do a couple of shows themselves. And with that said, you all should know, as we've been saying, that we have individuals that are cut from a different cloth, so to speak. We have individuals from all walks of life. The House of Prayer, our organization, is truly one of many colors. We have individuals from both ends of the spectrum, and we have individuals that, quite frankly, um, as I've been saying for the longest, are fed up. They're upset. They don't like what's been going on. They don't like the things that are continuing to go on. Um, we have individuals that are still attending services, yet they've been waiting. We have individuals that are paused, on pause, so to speak, and they are hoping and they're still yet hopeful. Um, but while we were getting back in and getting things situated again, we're glad to be able to have had couple of our other members to go on and come and speak to you all and share some things from their perspective and their point of view. As you already know, their views are not our views. Our views are not their views. All of us have our own individual views, and they're unique to each and every one of your experiences and our perceptions. And that's what makes this particular channel um, itself, I believe, um, something that many of the members of the organization, as well as those that are no longer attending, that's what has made it such a joy for us to be able to partake in, to share our thoughts and talk to one another. Um, with that said, we've been experimenting, as you all know, and we've had quite a bit of success stories. The numbers have been jumping all over the place with everything that we've been trying. It's pretty much trial and error from the first few days with myself and my wife, just a couple of individuals sitting on a couch and just talking into a microphone. Um, I just saw the comment, Uncle Lou. Um, and we've been surprised to actually see it flourish and span and grow to what it's become today. With that said, we've uh, seen quite a bit and we've witnessed quite a bit. We've had quite a few challenges. Um, and with all of that in mind, we've been able to actually get quite a few things done. Um, we have been trying to, and I want to say that I'm actually glad that we all have been able to not so tamed, so to speak. As you've seen on the channel with individuals making comments, um, I hear echo, and I'm wondering if that's on my end. Let me see something. Okay. But uh, we've attempted to try to have individuals come on the comments, uh, email, even to call live, and we're working on something now that we are looking at perhaps adding a line so that individuals can call in. That will probably be coming up somewhere down the line. But we've been we've been grateful to be able to allow individuals to speak and speak their mind and speak freely. I have not shared any of the recordings that I've taken as of yet of individuals who shared their testimonies. And I don't want to share those things unless I'm asked to share those things. Um, we have individuals, as I've stated, who are waiting and they want to tell their story, but to have a platform where they can be free to be themselves, um, albeit we try to make sure that we, you know, contain our composure, which is quite difficult to do because we do deal with some rather sensitive topics. Let's just call it like it is. The topics that we cover are very, very sensitive. They're It's difficult for individuals to contain themselves when they've suffered traumatic experiences, when individuals have endured all types of public humiliation and embarrassment situations openly. It can be challenging, to say the least. With that said, um, yeah, Wally, there was a couple of videos, but it was on this platform. We had a couple of other committee members come on and just share some things and talk to you guys and open up the floor, so to speak, while they were sharing. While myself and my wife, we were kind of getting back in and getting underway with some things. And to be truthful, we're also kicking the ball around to open up the opportunity for them, as well as even others in the committee, to be able to come and use the platform and express some things that they would like to express with you all, if they see fit. There's some things that I had not spoken with the committee as of yet that we're going to be kicking around amongst ourselves to kind of get some direction as to where we would like to go as a whole in the near future. Um, as I stated, we've been grateful for the amount of success that we've had thus far, so far. We've seen an impact throughout the organization, and not just within our organization, but within other organizations. I've heard from people that are non members of the United House of Prayer for All People, and some of them have actually shared their personal stories as to what the videos that we've put out, that we've pointed individuals in the direction of, um, how they've helped their congregations or their nonprofits. Um, we've been told that individuals have not only learned from the videos, but they went and implemented quite a bit of the information in them. Of course, doing their own research, right? And confirming as well as verifying the information to be true. Um, and what information might not have been accurate, it put them in the, at least in the mindset to go in that direction looking for the information, because they otherwise would not have thought of it. We continue to hear individuals tell us that they've never seen anything like our organization. Um, they're still registering the notion and the idea that everything that we've been saying is factual and it's not made up. Um, we've just been grateful so far to see the things that have actually come from what it is that we're doing. We, as we go forward, we actually might be looking at a situation where it even grows into something else that we never even imagined. But you all will hear more as we discuss these things and go forward. But I did hear from several individuals pertaining to not only the weekend, but the video from yesterday and the day before. And quite a few of you apparently uh, not only enjoyed, but you thought that the information was um, not only alarming, um, but also eye opening, and to hear things that we had not touched on before. I'm sure I can only imagine how surprising it was to hear this information. But let me say that many of the things that we cover, um, we say over and over again that it's our opinions, and the purpose of us putting this information out, making other people aware of our opinions, and I have to say it that way for legal reasons and purposes, is so that you can look at the information for yourselves and go and confirm and verify it, or look at the information and draw your own opinions. If they're in agreement with ours, then so be it. The hope is that at the end of the day, we can do something to overturn or turn around, or at least get the members of our organization in the mindset to understand that there is a great need to do something about our current state of affairs. Um, while all these things are taking place, um, while all these things are, and I'm missing comments, I'm gonna go back over them as you all know. While all these things are taking place, we know that there's even more. Um, Again, I hadn't seen the videos yet. I haven't heard Mr. Cunningham's audio recordings yet or anything of the services. But in looking at the itinerary I just saw earlier today, I was blown away. I don't know why I was surprised, but to see all the back to back stops. Um, it is what it is. And well, we'll see what happens. You all will find out some things as things um, are unveiled. As we go forward, um, it was actually the question was asked, why so many stops? It seems as if he has literally stayed on the road and lived on the road and not stopping for anything, not sitting still or staying put for anything at all. Um, it's it's questionable for a few people. Uh, I'm gonna say that normally the reason is, well, I'm coming around to check on my children, to see my children, right? Um, with that in mind, I want to say if you're going to go around to see about your children, then my question would be, what is it exactly that you're doing for those children? And what we're looking at is just the same old thing, right? And I don't want to beat a dead horse, but our members should know by now that this is just rhetoric. It's the same old thing. All year round, I'm coming to see about my children, which again is an issue for me because if these are your children, you would do something for them. These are like strangers. The children don't know you at all, and there's no provisions made for them at all. It's almost like a stranger dealing with children in a neighborhood that they're just coming through town and they see playing on the sidewalk. Um, the only thing that's done, and I'm going to continue to say this over and over and over again, in this organization, the only thing that is done is the bishop travels around to pick up money. That is all. Now that Memorial Day weekend is over, and he seems to be rather proud of what looks like an accomplishment. Um, Now, the next thing is to get back on the road and come and pick up more money and more money and more money and more money and more money. Every single stop is just picking up money. So, all the cities that you see on the itinerary, it's nothing more than just coming to pick up money. There's a few houses where if you see early in the morning, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10, the only purpose for that is just to go around to try to gain support for himself, to be able to say that I came to see about you, right? But again, it's nothing more than money or trying to get individuals to support him. But I ask all of you to ask yourselves, what is it that the bishop does for the members? If you think about this, then you'll understand the answer is absolutely nothing. Quite frank, and we're not making this up. Nothing. Okay, so what does the bishop do for outside members or non members, individuals outside the organization? Nothing. Um, Literally nothing. So then, what are the responsibilities of the bishop to the organization? And nothing. Okay, it's literally nothing. It's just going around to pick up money. That's it. And the claims are that the money is for this, or the money is for that, or the money is for that. But the problem is, no one knows because there's no reporting. There's nothing whatsoever that's done in this organization as it is required by law. And so, what seems to be an accomplishment over last weekend is not an accomplishment at all. The problem is you won't see that until later. Okay. Um, so, where are we now? Right now, we're back to the waiting game. Um, all we can do is what we can do. Outside is reviewing, and we're waiting to hear from them. Some things may be escalated. Um, and as we see things unfolding, then we'll let you all know what's going on so that y'all understand as things unfold. So, with that in mind, the back to the videos. One of the conversations that I had, someone said that there was some comments about some individuals saying that the videos that were done by our other committee members, that there were some things in there that were not true, or that they were making it up, or that they were lying. Let me say this. How do you know if they or I, or anyone for that matter on this channel, is lying? How do you know if they or I or anyone on this channel is making anything up or telling not telling the truth? How would you know? And if you do know that to be the case, we've always opened up the door for individuals to come onto the channel and show us. Tell us where we're wrong. Prove it to us. Pull out the evidence. But this is why we keep saying that these are opinions, or it's alleged, or it has been said, and we're sharing. But the hope is that somebody will come forward, right, to show us that we're wrong. That somebody would come forward and prove to us that we are wrong. That somebody would come forward and have the ability to let everyone know that what we're saying is wrong. That is our hope. The problem is, unfortunately, we're under the impression that will never happen because so many things have taken place, and the things that we're looking at point into certain directions that no, this is the case. And for that reason, we're also waiting for outside to come in to confirm and verify our opinions by looking at the information in front of them, by comparing it to other information, by looking at all these things and checking out the laws of the land and the regulations, and see if these things pan out. For the most part, we have a very, very, very strong indicator that they're going to find things the way that we're claiming them to be. But again, this is where the confirmations come in. So if Miss Madison, so to speak, or Mr. Cunningham, right? If there are things that we're saying that's wrong, how easy is it to come on and to let everybody know? We keep hearing things from within the organization as things are shared during services by Mr. Cunningham from the pulpit. One of those things, apparently, individuals are still under the impression that I'm restricted from going to any of the House of Prayer properties. Such is not the case at all. And you've heard me actually share with Mr. Cunningham the opportunity to, if that's the case, let everybody know it and just put it out. Put it out on the microphone, put it out during the service, since that seems to be his um, he seems to favor the pulpit whenever there's things that he would like to say pertaining to what's going on here. If that's the case, then just let it be known, right? That Mr. or Brother Lewis, um, I have uh, um, drawn up charges or given orders that he is not allowed on any of the properties of the organization uh, until whatever or uh, forevermore, whatever the case may be. But that has not happened, and no one has heard him say it. There's been claims about things behind closed doors, but again, we're open. We're coming to everyone and saying everything that needs to be said openly. We're not hiding behind anyone. So, with that in mind, we know that we still have every opportunity to attend services, to come to any of the events. And that issue itself is going to be pretty interesting because of the course of events that took place over the weekend as well, where people were told that I was arrested for trespassing. We'll see how that whole thing unfolds. But regarding anybody lying, if you feel that anyone is telling not telling the truth or fabricating a story or simply flat out lying, by all means, come onto the channel. Let's talk about it. Anybody, for that matter. And we keep on also asking for the opportunity to talk to any of the pastors or the councilmen, the chairmans, even Mr. Cunningham. Same thing with Miss Madison, to no avail. Every opportunity that is made for us to talk openly has been dodged or, quite frankly, ignored or controlled to see to it that we don't have that opportunity. And this is where we're finding the greatest problem. Um, so, with this in mind, our channel has become a launch pad, so to speak, of voices into uh, the community of our organization, as well as communities outside of our organization, to put the word out as to not only what's going on within the organization, how it's being ran, how it's being governed, or the lack thereof, the lack of governance. There is no accountability. Um, and we're still pursuing the opportunity for the members to turn this whole thing over, right? So the channel is that platform. And just like we've had individuals come on to the comments, as you now see, we actually have individuals that can utilize the platform from our committee. And the hope is, again, that individuals have dialogue. We now, and we didn't think about this before, like I said, it's trial and error. We didn't even talk about this before, but the hope is that everything is done tastefully, um, without uh, any disrespect or offense. But it's difficult, as I said, because you're dealing with individuals that are hurt. Um, Church hurt is a very, very, I mean, it is an extremely hard, difficult. How do you navigate going through the valleys and the hills and the mountains to get beyond a point that you yourself don't even know where to locate it? You don't know where it's found. You don't know how to reach it. You don't know how to get to it. Many people are searching and are clueless as to how to find their way out of a painful situation that seems to keep repeating itself over and over and over and over and over again in their mind. And until you've experienced things like that, it's difficult for individuals to actually understand those persons who have experienced things like that. Um, and where you have individuals that are in positions of power and they're just seemingly acting as if, well, everything is all right. There is no problem. People are just disgruntled. And just because of their position or a chair that they sit in, it seems as if their word is absolute gold. We're glad today to be able to say that I looked at a picture that I was sent. Someone sent me a picture of Mr. Cunningham walking through uh, the streets of DC. I think he was on 6th Street. As he was walking up 6th Street during the parade, it's a still caption, but his hands are up like he's waving. I look at all detail. I don't just look at if you look at a donut, I would ask people, well, what do you see when you see a just a basic, regular, old-fashioned donut? And you say, well, I see a round cake, right? With a hole in the center. Uh, I see the world because I don't look at the cake. I notice the cake, I observe the cake, but I'm looking at the outside and everything beyond the outside. And I'm looking through the center and everything beyond the center. Um, in the picture, yes, he is the subject of the picture, but I'm looking at the guards' faces. Their faces are bland. They don't seem to be happy, excited, or at all, anything. But then I look beyond the guards and I see the building on the side. There's no one on the sidewalks, nobody. And then I look at the members of the house of prayer that's on the street, because for those of you who are familiar with what we do, if there's a band playing, right, the band will open up to allow the bishop to come through and take like the beginning, the front of the parade, to lead the parade. Well, genuinely, I mean, normally as he walks through, everybody's hollering and yelling and screaming. But even though he's walking through, you see people right here. And normally, people waving and hollering and screaming and looking at until like he gets way up the street. People right here and like 3 feet past them, no one's looking at him. No hands are waved. Hands are down at the side. And where he's here, people are looking the opposite direction. That stands out to me. Anytime I see the head of this organization, the bishop, and he's out in public, and people not paying attention to him. He's waving. No one's waving back. They're not even looking at him. Now, mind you, of course, it's just a few faces in the picture, but they're less than 15 feet from him. And there's no one in between except maybe three guards on this side. And one, two, three, four, about four or five members, and about three over here scattered. I didn't see any of the heads except one, maybe looking at him, and that's just the tip of his head behind the shoulder of one of the guards. I was taken by that. He does not command their attention. They're just there for the parade. It says a lot, and it's just a matter of a little bit more time, because as I've been hearing, and I've been waiting to hear from others around the organization, many people are not attending, many people are not participating, many people are not contributing, many people are not giving, many people are not paying their tithes anymore. They stop because they learned that there's no need to pay tithes because tithing is no longer biblical. Especially after they found out that the tithes was going to the bishops. People are not giving in G class, right? This whole idea of building the kingdom, where we don't see not only the organization being built, but the houses of prayers are not even being maintained. And if they're not being maintained, not buying kitchen equipment, not cutting grass, there's a house of prayer where the iron gate was, I think, hit by a car. That gate has now been missing for 3.5 years. If if the gate is not necessary, why put it there in the first place? If the gate is necessary, why is it taking 3.5 years and it still has not been replaced? The concern is not in the members. And this is a house of prayer that's in a pretty sketchy neighborhood, where you don't know what's going to happen. And we're dealing with houses of prayers in inner cities. And the members are susceptible to whatever happens. But when you look at the parsonages, the homes where the bishops are going to preside when they're in the area, they're not in those types of neighborhoods. If a gate breaks, well, it's going to be repaired like that. The emphasis and the attention that's given to taking care of the bishop versus taking care of the collective body of members is astronomical. The difference in the care of the bishop versus the people is astronomical. We talked about the 71-year-old that was evicted. And I think this was wintertime. I just learned, I did not know this, that this was on the news and a charity had reached out to Portal Drive. And they said, this charity reached out and they said, move her back in. We will pay her rent. Just move her back in. It was said that they still would not move her back in. We are supposed to be a charity. We are a nonprofit, 501c3 on paper. And if our people do not understand the need to wake up, it's now more in your face than ever before. After this past weekend, for Mr. Murray to have been made, this was planned. This wasn't just done, this was planned. And for the members to take part in a vote, All of that was planned. The entire meeting was controlled by Mr. Cunningham. It was initiated by fear and intimidation. It began with the letter that was sent to the delegates. And I have to tell you all, um, we suspected that it was going to go the way that it did. And it did go that way. And unfortunately, there were some other things that was done to make matters even worse for Mr. Cunningham, as well as the councilman, as well as the pastors. And you all will be hearing about that later. But to have a blatant disregard for law and order and to ignore the warnings that are being put out pertaining to law and order, it's hard to come up with words. But here we are, members. And now the question is, what's next? Well, with that in mind, he's getting ready to come around and travel. And as he's traveling, he's expecting you all to have his money. That's what's next. For those of you who are tired of being sick and tired and can now see clearly after this past weekend and the rest of the weekend, then it's now the perfect opportunity to reach out. Email us. In fact, email us because we're about to do something. We're about to talk about something in our meeting. Email us, all of you who may be interested in getting together and doing something privately. By that, I mean all of you who are interested in coming together and doing something of our own privately, maybe a 1 or 2 day event, just a get together, a meet and greet. If that interests you, reach out and email us so that we can get the numbers. We're going to be talking about something in our meeting, and then we're going to come back. But for those of you who are still behind and supporting Mr. Cunningham, you should see by now that there's literally nothing whatsoever going on with the exception of raising money. Bands coming out of your pocket with everything. Choirs, same thing. With that in mind, I don't know how much of this was talked about in the videos. Like I said, I haven't seen them yet. But the individuals that are part of the committee, all the things that we have here with the channel now, the videos, we have these are the bells and whistles. I didn't do this. Maria didn't do this. We have individuals that have been working on this and putting their effort into this, and we have others in the rear waiting for other things coming forward, because we have quite a few things in mind that we're getting geared up to do, yet there has to be a starting point, and we can't take off if there's not a starting point yet. The starting point is the members holding the leadership accountable so that we can get things done and then start getting everything done throughout the organization to drastically change the direction of this leadership. The leadership is single-minded and all about self, while doing everything the law says they should not be doing. That's what it appears to be. Outside will confirm when they come in, if they come in. And the members have every opportunity to put all this to a stop. So Again, I'm going to be sharing with you as we go forward what it is that we're working on. But pertaining to the hurt, I also heard um, from another phone call that it seemed as if there was some pain in the videos. And I'm going to be the first one to say that you all have seen my videos. You've seen me and Maria. Um, we've shed a many a tear because in talking about these things, we're actually relaying to you all that we care. We would not be here doing what we are doing if we did not love the organization, if we didn't love the people in it. If we didn't love the people and the organization, bump y'all. Take Cunningham and have him and enjoy what little bit you're going to have left after he drain you dry for everything that he can get and then cast you out to the wolves. But we care. And it's not just about Mr. Cunningham. This is a trend. And we've seen throughout all of this, right? That it's literally been take, take, take. And as a result, um, as a result, the people have seen nothing at all. Let me go ahead and show. No, I'll share this with you later. Um, but um, for those of you inquiring or wondering about, getting together, we don't have any details. We haven't done anything at all. I'm just throwing it out there for you all to start considering. This is just fishing lure, so to speak. How many people would be interested in anything like that? We have no idea where, we have no idea what, we have no idea of anything as of yet, other than a simple idea of opening the opportunity for us to come together and do a meet and greet. Um, with that said, the hurt that you all see being displayed in the videos from time to time, whether you're hearing it in people's voices or seeing it in their facial expressions or seeing it in their body language, the hurt is real because people didn't sign up to be hurt. People didn't sign up to be humiliated. People didn't sign up to be embarrassed and um, publicly ostracized. They didn't sign up to be thrown under a bus by a group of men who's plotting and planning on how to do everything they can to take from you, including their attempt to take your dignity and to turn people that you grew up with or family members and friends that you've shared everything with for the last 20, 25, 30 years, to have them turn on you based on lies that they tell about you. People didn't sign up for that. And so many a times people have wanted to, myself included, and others all over the organization, have wanted to do different things in order to um, resolve those issues, or at times people have wanted to retaliate. But we're grateful that our Father is true to his word, and he has given us comfort so that we could leave things alone. As he said, vengeance is his. And to learn to do as the word says, as we begin to actually take into account what it actually says, to love thine neighbor as thyself, as well as how to treat individuals who treat you as if you're an enemy, while you looked at them as if they were your best friend. It's hard to deal with people like that. where you're doing everything you can to help them, to take care of, to scratch their back, um, only to find out later that they've been doing things that you were not aware of. And there's a saying that people have actually said, with friends like these, who needs enemies? And this is not pertaining to the members of the organization. It's just pertaining to people who might be like that all around the world. And some of us have been like that without realizing it and without knowing it, because we didn't have a mentor, we didn't have a teacher, we didn't have somebody that was serious about their business of walking within the words of the scripture. So then we find out the hard way. And when that happens, it's not going to be an easy feat to get over that. And many people suppress it. And sometimes it's suppressed for years. And when it comes up out of nowhere, it blows all the way up. And then the person may even realize, wow, I thought I was over that. And this is why some people actually lose it just that fast. Some people black out just that fast. So we need to understand that throughout at least this organization, a lot of people have been hurt. And as I thought about some of the conversation that I've had with several people, pertaining to the weekend, pertaining to where we go from here, pertaining to the videos, pertaining to information that came out, that I still am not aware of yet. But all of this has to do with the same thing. We're talking about a body of people, thousands of people in an organization that's constantly being hurt, manipulated, lied to, and deceived, while having their families destroyed and their money siphoned out of their account into other accounts where the leaders can put their hands on it and take it for themselves and do with it what they will. These are the things that have been going on that nobody can dispute. The question is, where are the minds of the people when it comes to these types of things? Are you willing to look at an individual and love them while continuing to give them all of your belongings and dismiss the fact that what they're doing is hurting everyone, including you, in the organization, while taking and doing nothing that the law says? These are not fabrications. And this is why you've seen that comments that are made about, well, that's going to be over soon. Don't worry about YouTube. Don't worry about that. None of those things come true, because, again, liars know when they're lying. They only hope that you believe their lie. And many of our members are beginning to wake up to see that they've been lied to for all these years. It doesn't feel good at all. Nobody wants to hear that. I get it. No one wants to hear it. But with that in mind, this is where we are. People outside our organization, same thing. Nobody wants to know that they've been lied to. So, with all that said, we've seen that individuals sometimes got to catch themselves. Same thing with me. I got to catch myself. And I'm actually going this route so that you all understand that when speakers speak, sometimes you're dealing with speakers who seem to have it all together, but they're really just holding it together. Sometimes they're holding it together with glue and duct tape. And this is why we need one another, because we certainly can't rely on the leadership. They're not going to tend to the wounds of the sheep. They're not going to tend to the needs of the flock, they're the ones ravaging the flock. They're the ones causing the wounds. So, in this situation, quite frankly, all we have is each other. And if we don't look beyond the disagreements that we have simply because somebody today is not awake to the fact that the shepherd is the one beating you, the shepherd is the one oppressing you. The shepherd, he's the one that's responsible for all of the pain that you're suffering. But that person still sees the shepherd and they can't believe it. Not the shepherd, not the shepherd, but that's not the shepherd. The shepherd is up there. This is a hireling. And he told the disciples about the hireling. When the wolf comes, the hireling will run because the hireling cares not for the sheep. The hireling is only there for what they can get. They're not there to do the job of tending to the needs of the sheep. So when we're seeing one another talk, express themselves, or share, especially on the platform, we have to understand that, yeah, there's hurt. Some people may say, well, they're doing that because they're hurt. No, they're not doing it because they're hurt. But that does not discount the fact that they may very well be hurt. And if they are hurt, should that be something that we should be offended at? Should you be offended if someone over here within your congregation, within the organization that you're a part of, if they're angry because they were hurt? Should you be upset because they're telling people that the shepherd hurt them? That the shepherd abused them? Should you be upset that they're telling the rest of the sheep that it's the shepherd that y'all need to look out for? It's the shepherd you need to keep your eyes on. It's the shepherd that you don't want to turn your back on. The shepherd is the biggest problem. The shepherd is protecting the wolves who's having their way with the sheep. The shepherd is not taking care of the sheep. Therefore, we've been tricked. It's not a shepherd. So the sheep don't have a choice. And every once in a while, you might end up with a sheep that puts their head down and they will ram you because the sheep don't have anyone except one another. So, with all of this in mind, it's not just about the house of prayer. It's not just about the wounded. It's not just about those who are awake. This is not about those who have a personal problem with Mr. Cunningham. These people didn't get here by having a personal problem with Mr. Cunningham. These people didn't get here by having a personal issue with Mr. Cunningham. They didn't get here because Mr. Cunningham did something to them. These people are here because Mr. Cunningham is the man in the seat. And though he has every opportunity and the position to do something about it, Mr. Cunningham just happens to be the man with the key to stop all the abuse, to put an end to all the hurt, to hold those accountable who did the hurting and the abusing. But then comes another problem. How do you put a stop to the individuals who's doing the hurting and the abusing when you are also one of those individuals? And now things are coming out to show everyone, not only are you one of the individuals, but now you've become the one doing the most hurt and the one causing the most abuse. So instead of putting a stop or an end to it, you don't have a choice because your back is against the wall where you have to actually protect the hurt and the abuse. You have to protect the ones causing their hurt and the ones causing and doing the abusing. You now have to protect this environment that you have indirectly and unintentionally created, an atmosphere of hurt and abused members being continuously hurt and consistently abused by people that are uh, abusers and, quite frankly, predators. So now you're protecting predators and abusers. And you have to, because if you don't, then you will fall. Because that's precisely, unfortunately, what you've become. And since there's so many people all over this organization who now know about all of these abusers and predators, how can you not have people coming forward to tell their stories who's been hurt? Are they telling their story because they're disgruntled? Are they coming to tell their stories because they're jealous? Are they telling their stories because they don't have a seat on the council? Are these people telling their stories really just because they're not a president? Because they're not getting money in the house of prayer? All of these lies don't make any sense anymore. When people hear the pain from these individuals coming forward, you can't help but resonate with these individuals. You feel their pain, only to find out, well, I can relate to that because, wait a minute, that sounds familiar. The same thing happened to me. And so now what we're looking at is people all around the organization that's beginning to realize that, wait a minute, they've been hurt too. They've been hurt too. They've been hurt too. This one's been abused as well. That one's been abused too. Wait a minute, this one as well. That one's been humiliated also. This one's been embarrassed. This one's publicly humiliated. That one thrown under the bus. This one lied on. That one lied on. That one pointed. All these people beginning to realize that we all are at fault for covering up and protecting abusers and predators. who's been taking advantage of all the sheep in this great big old flock known as the United House of Prayer for All People. And now sheep are backing up from shepherds because sheep are tired of that feeling they get when shepherds get close. Sheep are tired of having to look over their shoulder whenever the shepherd is over here. When we look at people that are hurt, the best thing we can do is try to understand. And if we can't find it within ourselves to try at least to understand, then we should pray. We should pray for them. We should pray for their strength. We should pray that whatever be done to allow that individual to find some sort of comfort and strength to come out of the trauma that they've endured while being abused, maybe once, maybe twice, and in many cases, over and over and over and over again for years. For some people, starting as young as 7 and 8 years old. We do not have the understanding or the training in order to be able to relate with one another when we see somebody who's hurting. If we are what we claim to be, if we attempt to become what we say that we want to become, then we would try as best we can to show love one toward another. And if a child or an adult cries wolf at any time, all of us, just like the townspeople, should come running to look to aid that child or that adult. I don't care who they say the wolf is. If the cry is made, everybody should stop what they're doing and look into it. Only then will we be able to say that we are what we claim to be. With all of that said, while also talking about these things, especially the hurt, I understand that we shared some documents and some paperwork to reflect the fact that there's a lot of questions regarding the properties of the house of prayer. It's pretty common now for people to wonder what's going on. Instead of wondering what's going on, we also need to come together to demand to know what's going on. It's time out for asking, because after 100 years, we should know by now, nobody's going to answer a question if you ask. So with that in mind, this is where people are beginning to make demands now, because confidence is building, courage is building, and timidness is beginning to wane. People are at that point where, no, we've been asking questions for the longest. And now we see that every time there's an opportunity, well, it gets controlled and we get pushed into the back uh, corner and nothing happens. And now we come out this weekend and another slap in the face of everybody in the organization is the man that people worried about, the man that people did not believe the report on, the man that people did not understand. Why is there all this paperwork about Mr. Murray, especially being a beneficial owner of the organization? Well, traveled up and down the road everywhere from Connecticut all the way down to Miami, Florida. From Miami, Florida, all the way back up to Connecticut, all the way across to California, back to DC. All these stops, not once, not one mention of any of the documents that were revealed, that were shown, nothing about the properties, nothing about the names of the trustees all over the place in the organization, nothing whatsoever about the taxes on these properties that are supposed to be nonprofit, nothing whatsoever about this man, again, who's beneficial owner. And yet and still, to come out of the General Assembly, and now Mr. Murray is the Assistant General Assembly Secretary. Another smack in your face. And the creme de la creme, the cream of the crop, the icing on the cake, so to speak, the cherry on top, is after Friday when it was revealed that he was going to take Mr. Murray and put him at the top officially by making him the second person only behind the General Assembly Secretary in the organization. To then tell the people to march in the rain, forget about the rain, we're going to get baptized. Brilliant. And people believe this because the sheep are trusting in this supposed to be shepherd. But at the end of the weekend, to have that itinerary, I'm going to be coming all around the place to collect more money, collect more money, collect more money. Having Mr. Murray with you side by side, another slap in the face. I wonder how this is going to go over. It has yet to be seen. But with all of this in mind, all of these things coming together, we now have a body of individuals where some of the committee members are quiet, yet the silence of their voices are extremely, extremely loud. Very, very powerful, though silent. Other individuals, now you're beginning to hear some speak and present different things to the hearers and the viewers and the members and non-members. But you see how some are raw and uncut because they're speaking from a place of hurt. They're speaking from a place of pain. They're speaking to other people that they can identify with because they know that they also are hurt and that they also are enduring pain while talking about the individual abusers scattered around and within the organization being protected by the predator and the largest abuser himself. And for those individuals that don't understand, I implore you to go back and listen to this again. There's a very common saying. It's a statement that speaks to hurt people hurting people. We hope that the individuals that are doing all this hurt and abusing all these individuals seek help yourselves and also repent, because we all have to face them in judgment. And no matter about this statement, this case, this issue, this organization, whatever comes of it, we all have souls that need to be saved. And it's well within our ability, each one of us, to do what's necessary for our soul to receive salvation. As I get ready to conclude what I was saying, wanted to say tonight, I just want to say also that all of these questions that people are having, they're not going to be answered, not by the individuals that are here, because it's too late for questions to be answered. And for now, going on 3 years, we're in a position to where we see, no mistake about it, there is no intent to answer any questions. There is no intent to turn this around. There is no intent to come forward or to hold anyone accountable. With that said, we are sitting in a situation where it's prime. It's prime. This is a prime position for individuals that have been oppressed for so long that it looks like you have no way to go, no way to turn, nowhere to run, nothing to rely on, nothing to lean on. This is prime conditioning for individuals to turn their attention to our Heavenly Father. It should not take things like this before we turn our attention to Him, but this is a prime situation for people to turn their attention to our Heavenly Father and to give themselves to Him. That said, I was surprised to also hear that H Street once again made news over the weekend. I shared with you all over the announcement weekend that it was said that H Street beat every house of prayer in the organization, with the exception of one, and that was 6 and M Street. Well, I was surprised to learn that this past weekend, the H Street mission beat the number one house of prayer in the entire organization. H Street mission. Either one of two things is happening right now. I said before, you cannot trust anything that comes from the man sitting in the white chair. You cannot trust what they say. And it's not just this one. It was the others as well. The others also. But we trusted the man that looked like the shepherd. We trusted the man who was sitting in the seat of what we thought was the shepherd's seat. And we could not believe, we couldn't even fathom that he would ever do such a thing, right? But you can't trust anything because nothing is going to be verified. No information in this organization is going to be shared with anybody in here, period, point blank. Nothing's going to be confirmed. Nothing's going to be verified. Nothing is going to be shown to anyone. Nothing is going to be proven. You're not going to have evidence to support anything whatsoever that is said in this organization because the members are quite simply shut out. You do as you're told. You follow, like Mr. Murray said, he told everybody in here, there's only two positions, a leader and everybody else are followers. He told you this. The problem with that when it comes to the law is no, it doesn't work like that. Not in a nonprofit. In a nonprofit, there are a bunch of people who come up to make up the leadership. The leadership in a nonprofit is made up of a bunch of people called the General Assembly in this organization. Other organizations have a group of people called a board. This General Assembly has once again been bulldozed, steamrolled over. And quite frankly, people, after they saw what took place, understand now with Mr. Murray, especially telling you that there's a leader and everybody else are followers. Mr. Murray's telling you all get in line. Y'all follow, y'all follow, y'all follow. And why would Mr. Murray say that? Because, of course, Mr. Murray knows that he's 50-50 along with Mr. Cunningham. All he has to do is play his part. All he has to do is act out his role. And as long as he knows his role, he doesn't have nothing to worry about. Because Mr. Murray keeps getting his back scratched while everybody else around the organization keeps on getting no answers to their questions. So when I talk about H Street and I say you can't believe anything coming from the white chair, I'm telling you either one or two things have happened. Either I was right, and once again, lies were told to the organization about where certain houses fell. Like I said before, houses have been beating different houses, but you will never know that. I've said Charlotte beat DC, I'm sure, many, many times, same as New York, but you will never know that. Charlotte Mission, many times. 6 and M Street, beat them, but they will never know that. Anacostia, beating H Street, but they will never know that. The Maids of Anacostia, beating sometimes the choir at DC, 6 and M Street, but you will never know. My point is, all these houses of prayers around the country are only second to Washington, and everything in DC is always second to 6 and M Street. And if you think about it, the staff that revolves around the bishop, for the most part, you're talking about 6 and M Street. And when you're looking at the numbers of monies raised and dollars raised, you got people in DC looking at all this stuff. And y'all wonder, how can anyone accuse fairness in this organization? There's all kinds of tricks and games and manipulation going on in order to create a frenzy for people to give more money. The only thing that's going on in here is the spirit of competition. And this is why Mr. Cunningham is getting ready to come around again to collect more money. But do what else? Nothing. To collect more money and do what else? Nothing. He's going to come around again to collect more money, and then convocation, he's going to do what? Go down the road to collect more money, but do what else? Nothing. While the council's sitting in a room and their hand is in the pot, and they're going around there on the yard and in the kitchen, and they're collecting the money, and they're sending out fines for people to pay more money and raising more money. And they're keeping the secrets of the organization because they're acting as a board of directors, while the entire time the sheep continue to become hurt and abused. And H Street is now on top of everything in the organization? Or is it simply that Mr. Cunningham is putting Mr. Foster, the pastor, on top? If you understand the friendships between Mr. Murray and Mr. Cunningham, and Mr. Brandon Foster and Mr. Cunningham, and there's the political arena as well, because you're dealing with a Mr. Jock Taylor. It seems like he's kind of being brushed to the side a little bit, with Mr. Jimmy Jones up front as the General Assembly Secretary, and now Mr. Murray coming up in the ranks behind him. And Mr. Cunningham talking about he's getting ready to retire the older gentleman on the council and create a younger council. People, sheep, it's time to wake up. So I won't be talking a whole lot about what's going on as we do what we do. I'll be sharing some things from time to time as they unfold, but certain things will need to go the route that they're going. In the meantime, we will sit back and we will kind of observe, as well as keep in touch and continue fellowshipping. So all of you guys hang in there and just sit back with us, fellowship with us, indulge in conversation with us, and let's see where this plane ride goes. Before I close out, questions about the parade, Memorial Day parade. So the 2026 Memorial Day parade in Washington, D.C. this year, May 25th, it drew an estimated crowd of up to 300,000 spectators. 300,000. Despite damp, drizzly weather during the earlier parts of the event, massive throngs gathered along Constitution Avenue to honor fallen service members and kick off the official America 250 historical celebrations. 300,000. 300,000. Now, historical significance. Here we have, as the first.
Hey, wait just one moment. I'm not sure if everyone can hear you because I surely cannot.
As the first memorial event launching the nation's 250th birthday celebrations, attendees came from across the globe. It included special historical tributes to veterans and active military. Right? This is about veterans and military personnel. And look at the viewing experience. The parade is completely free to the public with no tickets required, prompting thousands of spectators to bring lawn chairs or camp out on the steps of the National Archives. Now, with this in mind, we, well, I don't know how many uh, we have marching with us in the house of prayer, but I know it's nowhere near what we're looking at here. Okay, can you all hear me now? Okay. Um, so here it says the crowd cheered on 5,000 marchers, individual people marching in the parade. 5,000, representing all 50 states, which included high school marching bands, military tribute units, and dozens of aging veterans from World War II, the Korean War, the Vietnam War, and Operation Desert Storm. Now, why am I talking about this? Because I did not know, a lot of our members don't know, that there is a Memorial Day parade in Washington, D.C. I did not know that, our people did not know that. But here we are, the parade in Washington, D.C. This is that parade. Now, when you see the stands, you see all the people over here in the chairs and the steps. They are there watching the parade. And I know this is not, anything revealing. I have not dropped a revelation on you all, saying the obvious, right? But how crazy is it? Because when you look at this gentleman here with the red t-shirt 22, and you see the gentleman here, and you see this, all these people, they're sitting on steps. And we're like, duh. Yeah, but my point is that they're sitting on steps. In other words, they came here to actually watch the parade. This is the sidewalk. It was packed, packed with people watching the parade. Now, my point is here. When we look at the organization, this is what I saw. Let me this is my point. Now, when you look at the building, you look between the people on the sidewalk, there's no one there. And I used to be so very proud. I used to be quite honored and quite proud walking down the street. And we would see the people on their stoop in front of their homes, right? And the traffic. And this is what I meant. You see the gentleman looking down the street. Now, I'm not saying that they're not excited. I'm sure they are. They have on their plastic, right, to protect them from the rain. But they're looking down the street. And yet, see where they're looking and you see where he is. My point is that 300,000 people, was it 300,000? 300,000 people came to the nation's capital so that they could sit back and watch the parade. I don't remember seeing people standing on the sides of the sidewalk. I don't remember seeing bleachers. I don't remember seeing a stand, an exhibit, exhibit where you go in front of just large crowds of people. I only remember people walking by. I only remember cars parked so that they can cross the intersection. I did not know that there was a Memorial Day parade for years. And there I was. My point is that who's watching our parade? What is the point of our parade? If the leader knows that there's no one watching a parade, what is the point of a parade? Even in Savannah, I remembered entire blocks where there's no one. They know we're coming. They know we're going to have the parade. But I think the people also look at the organization and they look at the leaders. And they look at the leaders' treatment of the members, as well as the leaders' treatment of the non-members. We're not a respected organization because we don't respect other organizations. We're not a respected organization from outside because we don't do anything to help outside. And to make matters worse, we do nothing to help those inside. And those people outside can see that we do nothing to help those inside, as well as nothing to help anybody outside. So if they understand that the leaders are just taking advantage of the members, while talking about the members not understanding that the leaders are taking advantage of the members, at some point we need to understand that the leaders have been taking advantage of the members. It's the same thing with our baptisms. I showed a picture of Mr. Cunningham there with the baptism. Might have been 100, 150 people there to be baptized. And everybody was not being baptized. But it looked, this is not to insult. It's to open up eyes. People, this is supposed to be the one man on the planet, the holy anointed manservant on the planet. And he's about to march, walking out in the open 2 miles around the streets of Washington, D.C., and people did not come to see him. But they came to the tune of hundreds of thousands of people to watch bands walk down Constitution Avenue in Washington, D.C. They didn't come to see him, though. What is this telling us? Have we been duped? We're trying to tell all the world that this is the one man who does nothing for anyone and only takes money from the people who follow and trust in him, that he calls his children. I'm coming around to check on my children, to see how my children are doing. I want to see how my children are doing. Check on my children. Check on my children. See how they're doing. See how my kids are. See how my children are. Give it up. Come here, my children. Give me that money. Give me that money. Give me that money. By the way, Thank you for your love. Thank you for your love. This one says, bye bye, I get to go home. This one says, bye bye, Addie, go home. Addie, go home. I think what needs to happen is the people need to not give anything and hold up signs saying, Addie, go back home. And let that be it while we prepare to do what needs to be done. Because at some point, enough has to be enough. Let's go to the comments. Um, Golden Boy, hey there. It's Kareen. Hello, hello, everyone. Hello. Priscilla, hello. Glad you all made it back safe. Thank you. Good to be back. B. Mevdeman, good evening, all. And good to see you as well, Drusilla. Good to see you, B. Mevdeman. Miss Mintz, hey, family. Hey, how are you? Um, hello, grateful for it all. Hello. Golden Boy says, Amen. What we were saying earlier in regards to talking about hurt and the platform being open. Um, the idea is, again, and we need to work on that as well to make sure that everyone understands that it is a platform. I didn't think of this until this evening. Um, and we're grateful for the platform. In other words, we're not using this platform to control the mic, right? Mr. Cunningham, the general counsel, they control the mic. If they don't like what you have to say, they'll take your letter, they'll take your credential, they'll take your title, and they will essentially remove the microphone from you. Now you sit over here because you don't have a title anymore. You can't come up here. You're not allowed. You don't have a credential. You don't have a letter. You're no longer an elder. Only elders do this. Only people with credentials do this. We get up here and we have the microphone and they talk and they talk and they say anything they want about anybody that they want and they lie all of the time. But the members sitting out in the congregations will never know that because the ones who are the truth tellers, they took the mic. They control the microphone. No one gets to talk into the microphone except the ones that they allow. And the ones who they allow are the ones telling the lies in order to get the people in the audience to continue to believe in the one back here. But if you're telling the truth, well, you don't get the mic anymore. This is why everything is hand selected and hand picked. Members, it is all a show. So we don't want to control the mic. We want people to be able to be free to share what they want to share, say what they want to say, and it is a collective. Even though we utilize, the title, Reform and Governance Committee, even that we have to make mention of more so that it is known that this is not a reflection of the Reform and Governance Committee. We have Reform and Governance Committee members coming together on the platform. We have Reform and Governance Committee members speaking out, sometimes commenting on the platform. But the Reform and Governance Committee itself, the work there is done in the meetings. So if you look at it like the house of prayer, the services, when one of the pastors get up to speak, well, they're not speaking for the general counsel, even though they may be a general counsel member. So again, the hope is that we understand the titles and the use of titles, because we're not trying to be involved in having a bunch of titles and having people differentiated by utilizing titles. But again, we certainly don't want to control what people have to say. We want people to have the freedom to speak and without fear of retaliation, or that we're going to come at them, or it's going to become combative. That's not what the platform is for. We allow even disagreements, as long as you're not insulting and not offending and not disrespectful. At times it may seem that way, and if it does, let us know. I have no hesitations or withdrawals when it comes to apologizing. um, so that's not what we want to present here or project. We just want to project truth, and as best as we can, information, as we're making people aware of certain things going on, and dialogue, so that we can all share in conversation. Um, Miss Mintz, Uncle Lou, according to Shay, I appreciate how you're allowing others to share. Yeah, but this is again a collective work. I didn't build this platform. I have only been allowed to use it because others built it. And since they're working hard to support what we're doing, we've been working together to present for you all this information that we need to share. So, yeah, it's a shared effort, everything in that we're doing. There's committee members that y'all don't hear from, but their voice is loud and clear. Just because you don't see them, just because you don't hear from them, does not mean they're not doing anything. They're very, very, um, they're quite visible. Um, I'm sorry, someone texted. Grateful for it all. I thoroughly enjoyed Miss Mintz and Golden Boy. Yes, I heard that from several others also. So we're glad that they were able to uh, come on, that they were able to um, have dialogue with the viewers and open up the opportunity for you all to share and fellowship. Also, while we were still making our way back home, and taking care of other things after we've gotten back in. Excuse me. We're also glad that they were able to be comfortable. Again, I haven't seen the videos yet, but still even working through my messages, text messages, emails. So I haven't forgotten about you all. Just playing catch up. Um, but we're glad that they are comfortable and doing what they did. And as long as you all enjoy, that says that at least they were comfortable. It's not easy, you know, public speaking, coming and talking to individuals. It can be rather difficult, um, and it can be tedious, but we're grateful that they had the mind to do it, that they wanted to do it, um, and that they wanted to share information with you all in their own way. Right. And in talking to the committee, we actually engage without barriers. We're not trying to mold each other. You be who you are. The purpose for being here is for you to offer whatever it is that our Father gave you to offer. We know that we're all different trees, right? Some of us can be a little bit more pungent in flavor than others. You might come across a strawberry, or it might be a bitter lemon, right? Who knows? But all lemons are good. All strawberries are good. They all have their part to play and their role, right? So it just depends on whatever your cup of tea is. Um, However, It's good for the audience to hear and to see and to know that we have individuals from different, cut from different cloths, that we're all coming together to work together, hand in hand. We're a unified front. Some might be um, straightforward and direct. Others might be soft spoken. Some might walk soft and carry a big stick. Others might walk loudly and carry no stick, right? But all of us are coming together for the same purpose, and that's what makes this a an awesome group, and any other group like that, where you have a team that comes together and everybody's not trying to be the point guard. You still need a center. Everybody can't be a point guard. Everybody can't be a center. So, anyway, we're glad that you enjoyed uh, the videos. Um, it's meant so happy. Enjoyed it. Olden Boy and truly an honor. Wally, hello and peace to everyone. I'm hearing there was a different platform. However, I can't find the video. Oh, so apparently, one of the videos were pulled by YouTube. It seems that there may have been a complaint pertaining to uh, what was described as harassment and bullying. Um, they do allow uh, you to challenge these complaints. Um, and at the same token, some people, uh, when they hear things, they're going to take it not the way that everybody else is going to take it. Even something that can be stated playfully can be taken the wrong way, and an allegement, an allegation is made, an accusation, um, and they take it and run with it. Other times it might be things that are, crazy, and you report it, they do nothing with it. It's just a roll of dice, somewhat. But I'll say this: for all of those individuals that find issue with the way I present information or share different things, um, no matter how much I can offer people to come on and let's have dialogue. Same thing with anybody else presenting information here. I find it rather interesting that Mr. Cunningham can say anything he wants. He can come out with subjects to what he calls a sermon and say, haters are going to hate, or when haters hate, that's the subject. Um, you better watch your mouth. He who keeps his mouth keeps his life, right? These are things being said by the bishop. Other people can come out and call people names like clowns, right? And what many people don't realize is when that happened in North Carolina, the person who said it actually also made a threat and told the individual, yeah, I'm a Bailey boy. We can knuckle up, right? Now, this is from a pastor who's a guest speaker. And again, I said after that, he actually was promoted. These are things that's unbecoming, but the leadership did nothing about it, said nothing about it. And we have individuals that say things and do things, but nothing comes of it from the inside. Um, why is that? That anything can be said from the front. Members have been humiliated, embarrassed, lied on, name calling, even from bishops. Even from bishops. Bishops have said some disgusting things towards people. One bishop, I'm not going to call his name, um, actually told someone, uh, I can't even describe it because it's going to be a problem on here. But he told someone that knock your head off, but he didn't say knock. When you're talking to people like that, these are grown people who are offering their services voluntarily. They're not getting paid for it. Anyway, I'm not going to go in on that. My point is that people have said some of the most outlandish, most rude, most uncouth, unprofessional, humiliating, degrading, embarrassing things to such an extent that the members were embarrassed when they witnessed it, but no one said anything. When the bishops and pastors and chairmen, no one said anything. In fact, they defended it. Oh, well, he was doing this, he was doing. But here, we can say something that's a little teeny tiny, whatever. Nothing like what they've said in there. And all of a sudden, members have a lot to say. If you too have a lot to say. So when we look at that, just think about it. Okay. Just think about it. How is it that we're so sensitive to statements that we know are not being said intentionally to offend? But anyway, but thank you, Wally. I appreciate it. According to Shay, the video's gone from yesterday. Yes, it is. Golden Boy, truly pleased and grateful. Excuse me. And we have to also protect one another, and that there's some things that may come up. I've had videos removed over things that I did not know was a problem. Other individuals have called. It's like one I did at the hotel. There's music in the background. I can't help it. It's in the speaker system. But people called. Anything they can use to hurt what we're doing, right? Because they're pulling their hair out because we're telling the truth. So they want to interfere with anything and everything we're doing. But yet we're not interfering with them, letting them run all over the country and tell lies. And he knows that you have a captive audience inside the building that are listening to him. Now, maybe not so much. I shared on here for people, General Assembly, not to go out there. Don't go out there. Let the delegates do what they're there to do, what they're supposed to do. Not interfering, right? We're doing what we're supposed to on this side, and you see the chaos on the other side, and that's okay. You all just bear with us. The Lives of Him and Her. Welcome, everyone. Please subscribe. Hit that thumbs up button to show your support. And don't forget to set your notifications bell to stay updated. Email address, we stand for right2024@gmail.com. And thank you again. The Lives of Him and Her. For everything that you do as well. B. Mevdeman, grateful for it all. Yes, I enjoyed them too. Pastor has left us in good hands. Yeah, we have some very capable individuals, and there's some that you haven't seen as of yet, and you haven't heard from as of yet, but also you all are going to be pleasantly surprised. And I'm sure that Miss Mintz and Golden Boy, they have quite a bit more that they're willing to discuss and talk about. Grateful for it all. Yes, we need to hear more from them. Right? Golden Boy, exactly why I said I'm alleging, right? He was talking about me saying our opinions, and we're not standing on what we're calling facts. Um, according to Shay from Wally, oh, okay, but why I heard the video was very good. And just explaining what it is or talking about what it is that it was pulled for. And people said it was for harassment, um, or the complaint was harassment and cyberbullying. And it is what it is. We haven't looked at it yet to challenge it yet, but we'll see what happens. The lives of him and her, Miss Mintz and Golden Boy, thank you. Miss Mintz, the lives of him and her, you're so welcome. According to Shay, um, Wally, I was looking for it too. I listened to some of it last night, but I was trying to find the video earlier today and couldn't find it. Right, and that's the issue. Um, so we'll be mindful of those things going forward. And as we wrap up, um, Golden Boy says, I'm certain the video got reported for bullying, but there was none of that. Just clowning around. LOL. Um, Wally, oh, okay, I understood. Frankie House, peace to everyone. Hello, peace to you. Good to see you. Be remembered a minute, Golden Boy. No, you just told facts, and that's okay. Um, yeah, again, they're sensitive to the other side when we say anything, but they can say anything and everything they want, and including lie all they want. It's going to work out for us way better. It's not going to work so well for them. Um, Grateful for it all. Exactly, Brother Lewis. Uh, Marcus LaShawn, what is the purpose of your live? The purpose of our live is to give people the opportunity to share comments. Oh, wait a minute. I wonder if, yeah. Let me go back. Skipped quite a few. Oh, okay. According to Shay at Golden Boy, I felt the same way. I thought the channel got reported again. I've been around since the first video ever dropped. The members are watching. Yes, they are. And people who are supporters of his are watching as well. And Miss Mintz says, definitely waiting for some proof showing how we are lying. Yes, it's quite annoying and childish. If you have no proof, hush. But that's the thing. We want, anybody that disagrees, it's okay to disagree. But yeah, show us where we're wrong. Show us why you disagree. Let's talk about it. We look for open engagement. I'm grateful for it all. Exactly. This is an open platform. Just come on and speak. Right. The lives of him and her. We invite everyone to join our community by following the Reformation and Governance Committee on TikTok. And the link is right here. Thank you again, the lives of him and her. Grateful for it all. The members would rather sit through a service listening to Mr. Cunningham yell and talk about YouTube instead of addressing the real issues and concerns. Yes, a handful of members. We have quite a few members who have stopped anything. They're fed up. They can't wait. But it's hard to see the ones who are not doing. It's easy to see the ones who are still supporting them because they're going to be gathered right in these cities. And you're going to see the same ones traveling with them. But for those who stop, you're not going to see them at all. So again, for those individuals, if you look at the crowds um, as of late, you have to know people left and right are pulling back. People can see, and people are not with all of this, especially to know and realize um, there's some individuals who marched because they want to be a part of the band, but some did not salute because they don't um, want to engage in supporting or respecting and giving respect to a house that they heard so many different things about, and that we have individuals that were children that were taken inside of that house. Um, and so the impact has been made, and uh, waves are still going throughout the organization. And some people are just beginning to get into the videos. But yes, still, people are pulling away from Mr. Cunningham. And again, this is not an easy task. This is a 100-year-old organization. We've just been doing this since um, the beginning of last year, really, the last day of 2024. For a year and a half, we've just been making videos, but they've been effective. And look at where we are. And this is why we are not in the least bit bothered by what has not happened yet. This is in our Father's hands. Um, and we're just watching and waiting on Him. In the meantime, we see the effects, right? And outside has just been reviewing this since the end of January. So February, March, April, May, 4 months. It took them longer than that for these other organizations, and we see them coming in and picking people up and arresting them. So we're telling people what Mr. Cunningham is saying for people to do with us, you should really do with him. Just pay it no mind. It's just a lot of rhetoric, whereas he's doing everything he can to run from us because he does not want to sit down in front of a meeting or in a meeting in front of the members so that the members get to see openly, right, face to face, all of these accusations laid out against him with the evidence to support them. He doesn't want that. He knows the day that that happens, that's a wrap. Him and the entire general council, they're over. And perhaps all of the pastors. Um, that's a little uh, tricky, but they have been in support of Mr. Cunningham and supporting the council as well in their wrongdoing. So the pastors are supporting them in their wrongdoing, and that's where they come in. Grateful for it all. The members would rather, oh, we just read this. Golden Boy, truly appreciated. Golden Boy, church hurt is one of the most devastating. Yes. Miss Mintz, yes, it's gut wrenching. Um, and talking about individuals being uh, in pain as they speak. And this is why y'all going to hear that from time to time. We do a relatively nice job keeping our composure, but it's real. Um, and you will see some more of this as we go forward and things unfold. Sidewalks were all empty. Yeah, during the parade. And this is why I showed um, Washington, D.C.'s parade for their Memorial Day, 300,000 people in attendance, sidewalks jam packed, right? We do this every year, sidewalks empty, nothing. And again, we're talking about the one man in the land today, all around the world, right? Imagine the Pope. 300,000 people came to D.C., but they didn't come to see him. And he's going to be right there in the street walking. right? Imagine the Pope. The Pope is in a vehicle with bulletproof glass, and people pour, they have to shut down all of downtown in whatever city he's in. Just saying, right? It's bad. Oh boy. Golden Boy says they also pay the taxes at the bishop's house. Yeah. Um the tithes and the G class, right? People don't know what's going on with it. But something's going on with it. All we know is people still giving it, right? Ah, so Wally, at this point, Brother Lewis, don't count on Mr. Cunningham coming forward or addressing anything specific of what you have shown and proved. A thief and liar will not come forth boldly. His time is up. Oh, absolutely. We never, ever, just so you all know, we never, ever, 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 ever thought that he was going to come forward or address anything. We never thought it. Never. But we have to give him the opportunity to do so. So we just kept giving the opportunity. And well, here we are. But if I go into the specifics of just how bad this is, then I could easily paint a picture for you all. But I don't want to quite do that yet. Just know that all of these opportunities just X, 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 X. And if I keep saying X for like another 10 minutes, X, X, how's that going to look in front of an agency or in front of a judge? All these opportunities. It's not good. It's not good. But you're right, Wally. Yeah, we appreciate that. But yeah, this is not good. Golden Boy. So they left a $250 balance though, for the taxes at Portal Drive, right? Excuse me. So we can post the itinerary again. Oh yeah. Just to show you. In fact, yes, let's do that on tomorrow's Thursday. Let's do that on either tomorrow or Friday. We'll actually pick apart the itinerary. I might even have some commentary on one of his speeches. The lives of him and her, the email address. We stand for right at 2024. We stand for right 2024 at gmail.com. Yes, for those of you who are interested in doing anything, we don't have ideas yet, but if you're just interested in having a meet and greet, a day event, or whatever, we'll discuss it later and go into detail. If you're simply interested in something like that, let us know. I'm not upset, I'm happy. I can't understand how the members can be so blind to what, excuse me, what is in your face. All Cunningham wants is your money. He comes to your house to collect money. He doesn't give or leave you anything. It is what it is. That's exactly what he does. There's no disputing that. The members can't dispute that. And you can say all day long, well, we give because we want to give. No, you don't. No, you don't. No, you don't. 40 plus years. And I used to listen, y'all can't lie to me. You can't lie to these. These are former members of the organization. What? How are you going to defend an organization from people who left an organization or put their membership on pause because it was so bad. How can you defend something when it's so bad that people say, okay, I'm going to put my membership on pause. Uh, I will watch, I will monitor, I'm going to wait until this stuff changes. I'm a member, I'm just not participating until these things change. How are you going to tell that person that they don't know what they're talking about? Oh boy. Anyway, Zalika. Zalika says, hello, Joseph, the 11th son in chat. Trusting all is well with everyone. Abundant peace and blessings be multiplied unto all. Hello, Zalika. And yes, as I said, we are playing catch up, and I haven't reached out. I have to reach out. I will text you before I do, and let your brother know as well that I said I will text you, and uh, that way we can set up a time. Um, we're still catching up from our trip, but I'm eager. My wife and I are eager to speak with both of you. Um, and they are from um, House of Jacob. Yes, there's something before that though. But if you all go online and look up House of Jacob, that's where Zalika, the organization that she was affiliated with, her and her brother. Wiley said, I heard that the weekend was packed, unlike other Memorial Day services where the left side is empty. I'm hearing that it was packed and the singers were awesome. Just imagine if we can get right. We have so much talent to offer to the world to bring them to Christ. Well, let me see. Um, this was Saturday night. That's the platform. And you see all those chairs in the back. Now, somebody's going to say, well, that was before service or after service. But look at the maid standing up. This is 20 minutes before he arrived. Service had already started. I'm going to actually zoom in so you can see. See the section? Okay, I'm going to move it back. See the section? Now, I counted the rows. Normally, the section all the way to the left, the first section is empty, second section is empty, third section might have a few people sitting there, right? Up and down the aisle. And then you got the fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth section. People are sitting there looking at the screens in front. This picture, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sections completely empty. And the seventh section has a few people scattered up and down the aisle. And then you see the people going from the eighth section over to the front and then the right. So this is where they start off at, right? You see the sections that I'm talking about? And this is where it starts. Okay. Now, again, this is 20 minutes. 20 minutes before service starts. I'm sorry, not before service started, 20 minutes before he arrived. Okay. Now, see where the people are sitting? And the people are already looking at the screen because service is going on. 20 minutes before he got there. And normally that's the side I'm sitting on. But at least half of that left side is full. At least half. It kind of spills over, right? Because they want to have more seating than, you need just in case. But normally I'm sitting there, but I've never seen that section almost completely empty up to the platform. I've never seen that. And this was Saturday night. Now, I was told that Sunday there was a lot of people there. But of course, you know that people are going to make the claim that we had a lot of people, da 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 da. People on the videos, they want people to think, no, I don't want people to think anything. I'm only putting out the truth as far as I know it. People share anything with me, we're going to share it. But pictures don't lie. And if this was before service, then why are they looking at the screen? Why are they not just talking to one another? Why are they all sitting down, head looking towards that direction, platform over here, but they're looking over there because that's where the screen is, right? Um, and you see right here, see the guard? Those guards don't stand there until they're preparing for the bishop to walk in. And look at them walking down the floor, going to the restroom or coming in. But that whole floor is empty. All the way. People are normally sitting over there because, again, that's where I sat. You only got one person sitting in that one seat. And what are they doing? They're looking up at the screen. They're watching the service. That one person. And again, 20 minutes before he got there. So I was told that the subject that night, I haven't listened to it yet, was where the believers at. And that's fitting, right? Because but I don't know, Wally. It was looking pretty bad. But I wasn't there either, just like you're sharing with us that you were told. But people send pictures because just in case we can show it. Wally says, get right. We have so much talent offered to the world to bring them to Christ. Absolutely. We could be doing a lot. And we'll see where this is going because things worked out better than we thought. And I know y'all don't know what that means, but you will in time. Miss Mint says, hi, so good to see you, Zalika. And Jamal, that's true. All he did was take dirty green. On Bernie Mac. Boy. I was trying to see how that was read. Golden Boy. OMG, right? Right. Don't want to take chances. Talking about Bernie Mac show. Zalika at Miss Mintz, thank you, beautiful soul. Abundant peace and blessings be multiplied unto you. Absolutely. Golden Boy, so true. Brother Lewis talking about all we have is one another. The leaders aren't helping the people at all. The leaders not comforting the people. They're not doing anything. Wally. Yes, Brother Lewis, let's stay in God's way. However, continue to put the mirror in front of the members' faces. The truth will set you free. And I'm praying God can break the chains of 100 years. Olden boy, amen to that. Wally, Miss Mintz, Zalika, you are so welcome. I accept in Yeshua's name. Um, and thank you for that, Wally. In fact, for those of you who would like to join us, one of the committee members called me earlier today. We had a conversation about, excuse me, fasting, that our Father's will be done. And we went into a little bit of story about it. But long story short, we're going to be starting tomorrow fasting on Thursdays. And for those of you who would like to join in, feel free to do so. Some of us will be fasting more than the one day per week, Thursdays. But again, the objective here is for us to pray for His will to be done. Wally, there's no one from the outside that can tell the truth about what's going on in the inside, for we know exactly what we were taught and how God brought us out of that. So tell the story, Brother Lewis. Absolutely. Absolutely. There's a bunch that is that has yet to be told. Zalika, oh my goodness, you are my distant friends and family from another religious organization going through the same thing, just worded and structured differently. Yes, we're all in this together. And that is what is meant when the Messiah said, "Other sheep I have that are not of this fold." He meant out of all these folds, every denomination is a fold. Every belief system is a fold. Every interpretation system is a fold. Every following is a fold. And he was saying, other sheep I have that are not of this fold, the immediate fold that are here, the ones who believe in me here, those of you who are here, a part of the disciples and whoever else here, understand I have others that are out there in other folds. They're underneath of false shepherds. They're underneath of some intending right but lost shepherds. Some of them are underneath of other sheep. Some of them are strayed. But even those sheep that are mine, I must bring. So how's he going to bring them? Is he going out to get them? What did he tell the disciples? He said, I'm sending y'all out into the world. He didn't tell them to build a building and then preach to the same 18 people for the next 45 years. He said, go out there, put out the word, and for those that my Father opened up their heart to hear it, they will receive you. Those are the ones I want you to teach. And those are the ones that will follow. And they will walk in my word. Because those are my sheep. Everybody's not going to hear the word. Everybody's not his sheep. It's not for us to pick his sheep. It's not for us to tell uh, somebody that they are his sheep or not. Even somebody who's not his sheep today might eventually turn around and become his sheep tomorrow. And just because somebody looks like a sheep today does not mean that they are one. So there's a lot for us to uncover. And this is the work that needs to be done. But yes, people all over the place. We have brothers and sisters that are long lost, that also have yet to be found. And if you are found out there, then we're the ones that have yet to be found so that we can come together. Some of us thinking that we're found and they're lost, while they're thinking that they're found and we're lost. Well, what I'm saying is all of us are lost. And until we find him, we have yet to be found. And that's what this effort is all about. For us to come into the knowledge of one another as we're seeking him. But absolutely, Zalika. Absolutely. Miss Mintz, that's right, Brother Lewis. Preach. B. Mevdeman, yes, amen. This is powerful. I'm not upset. I'm happy. Paul McCartney has a song called Man on the Run. I believe this was fitting for Connie. What was that? Man on the Run? I think I know that song. Wally at Zalika, well said. We appreciate you, for we are all brothers and sisters in Christ, here to encourage and motivate each other. Right, absolutely. All of us, no matter what your background, no matter what your belief, no matter what your intentions, no matter what you've done, we all have jacked up, messed up, fallen, got dirty, need to get picked up and dusted off and cleaned up so that we can uh, straighten up and get up and stop acting up and hold our heads up so we can look up to the hills from which cometh our help. um, Grateful for it all. My. Yeah. The hurt was no joke for many of us. Zalika, Wally, thank you so very much. Absolutely. Wally was on point. Miss Mintz, I don't even know that man, Cunningham. It could be someone else in the seat. I still have the same outlook. That seat needs to be burned. It's a symbol of greed and abuse of all kinds for centuries. Right. And this is what I was saying, that some people, this is not about a personal grudge against him. It's about individuals that have been hurt and abused by leaders of this organization, just like others have been hurt and abused by leaders in other organizations. While they thought they were leading them to something, they would find out such was not the case. At this point, Grateful for It All says it would be easier to simply step down and take a seat on the back pew. It's just that simple, at Mr. Cunningham. Yeah, it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. And again, there's other places that are doing similar things. But when it gets this obvious, you would think that people would just throw in the towel. However, some people are in so deep, the members have no idea. And a lot of people don't want to give up the money and the lifestyle. It may not be that at all, but it's certainly not looking good. Miss Mintz, that seed is a curse. You are right, Brother Lewis. You're telling nothing but the truth. And that was, again, talking about their hurt coming from the organization, leaders, and people not realizing that we need to be here for one another. Josh says it's difficult to cry for help when there's a culture of covering up. Yes, it is absolutely difficult. It is extremely difficult. It is unbearably uh, difficult. It's suffocating. Um, but for that individual who musters up the courage, who strengthens their vocal cord to cry out for the very first time, instead of us questioning, what are you talking about? We need to question, who are they talking about? And then focus our attention on them, especially because it's so difficult for people to cry out. As difficult as it is, we should understand, to hear them cry out once is fortunate, because it allows us to see there's a problem over here that we need to take care of. Had it not been for this person crying out, probably wouldn't have known it. At the same token, because it's difficult for a person to cry out in a culture of cover ups, when you hear the cry, you need to jump on it the first time, because there's no guarantee that there will be another cry out. Absolutely. Absolutely, Josh. B. Mevderman, Pastor, I feel the Spirit moving and working through you. Romans 8:31. If God be for us, who can be against us? Um, thank you. We all, in my opinion, have a part to play, and I'm just grateful to be doing this little part over here. It may seem like it's a lot, um, but for those of you, as I've stated before, um, walking before Him, praying with us, fasting with us, uh, hoping with us, and standing up with us, that means the world. When it came to the Messiah giving his life, at some point in time, people had to come to the realization that going after the people who believe in him is not doing anything, because they're just multiplying. How do you stop a wildfire if it has picked up wind? Once it spreads, you all have seen wildfires, unstoppable. How are you going to control it when you can't recognize it? And this is another thing that he said: the Spirit, the kingdom of God cannot be seen, not with these. So how are you going to know when you come across a believer? How can you stop it? You can't. So the task that we have before us is going out to share the message and waking other people up. Because in here, we still have to turn people's attention towards him. Because many people in here, though they're no longer following Mr. Cunningham, they have not yet turned their attention towards him. Right? Grateful for it all. Thank you, B. Mevderman. Thank you. Thank you. Grateful for it all. Says, talk about it, Brother Lewis. Yeah, the hurt, many people going through it. Going through it. Zalika, I'm praying for your continued strength through and by the Most High. Absolutely. Many people, they need these prayers, because prayer changes things. Thank you, Zalika. Wally says, Be Mev, God is with us. Why? We are in the truth, the gospel, and the word. However, we get nothing but silence from Mr. Cunningham on the facts and the proof. The members are watching and learning. I thought he was God's man on earth today. He's a coward. He's supposed to be bold, but humble. Yeah. Um, Wiley says, SMH, shake my head. Yeah, it's not good. Um, those men in the scripture, they didn't back down. They didn't back down. They confronted whoever wanted to have conversation, and they talked to whoever wanted to have conversation. There was nothing to hide, nothing to run from, nothing to cover up. But we get it. We understand why this is happening in this organization because they don't have the word, they don't have the gospel, they don't have the truth to teach or to stand on. That leaves them with nothing left to do but lie. Um, Joshua says, cannot trust their announcements or propaganda. That part. That part. Their announcements are a part of their agenda. Their announcements are a part of their agenda. And the purpose of the announcements is to get people hyped up. Why? So they can give more. And they keep you on this ever rotating, never ending cycle where you're running, but you're not getting nowhere. Just like a rat wheel, a mouse wheel, hamster wheel, gerbil wheel, whatever kind of rodent wheel you want. That wheel just turn and turn. You're not going nowhere. You're just tiring yourself out, running, 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 going nowhere. Year in, year out. I'm not upset, I'm happy. This year, the indoctrinated members will celebrate 100 years of lying, stealing, fraud, misappropriation of funds, molestation, etc. Y'all got to wake up and stop being blind, right? It's a lot. It is a lot. And we're trying to shake people, right? Grateful for it all. Add up, not upset, I'm happy. Facts. Facts. What you said, all facts. B. Mevdeman. Wiley, exactly. They can't get around that truth no matter how hard they try, right? Right? No matter what you do, you're not going to get around it. Golden Boy, nah, we learned last night why he is touring so hard right now. We learned last night why he's touring so hard right now. Yeah, there's so much going on. And I'm hoping that it's not what we think it is, it's not what it looks like it is. Excuse me, hope and beyond hope. But we'll see. We'll see. Joshua, he collects money and takes credit for whatever the weather currently happens to be. I told y'all it was going to snow. Yep, the ice is here, just like I said. And here it comes. I told y'all the sunshine is out. Uh, yeah, takes credit for any and everything. Um, Including the weather. NB and NC. I'm not upset, I'm happy. I'm not upset, I'm happy. Matthew 15:14. Let them alone. They be blind leaders of the blind, and if the blind lead the blind, both shall fall into the ditch. That is a perfect scripture to support and Back up. What I'm not upset, I'm happy said right here. The indoctrinated members will celebrate 100 years of lying, stealing, fraud, misappropriation of funds, molestation. Y'all got to wake up and stop being blind. Let them alone. They be blind leaders of the blind. And if the blind lead the blind, both shall fall into the ditch. And again, that's NBN&C uh, supporting what I'm not upset, I'm happy said about the members waking up. We've been blind for far too long. Um, Look at B. Meverdeman, locked and loaded, golden boy. um, NBN&C, unfortunately, per Yahusha, Jesus, Yeshua, Yahshua, um, not everyone will be saved. And that's a hard pill we all have to swallow and accept. Um, yes, I think this is where we were having some difficulty with the audio. Um, and Josh says, looks like they're outside the National Archives. It's talking about, I believe, the people sitting during the parade there in Washington. Um, Wally, as these leaders of the United House of Prayer, they don't, and I repeat, they don't believe in God. First warning, fear God. They lie on him repeatedly. Shame on you, Mr. Cunningham. Hustlers. Yeah, it's so bad, Wally. It's so bad. Um, I'm not upset. I'm happy at NB and NC. I understand that, but they know the truth. Just going along to get along. Um, I've been to the Memorial Day Parade in DC. They have it every year, and sometimes they have stars who are veterans who march as well. Oh, I didn't know that. Huh. Um, I'm not upset. I'm happy the parade takes place on Constitution Avenue Northwest. Yeah, see, I didn't know that all those years, even when I was living in DC. I didn't know that there was a Memorial Day parade, a real one, because I was always in ours. I thought our parade was the parade. Um, but yeah, there's a real, actual parade. And Miss Kareen, grateful for it all, LOL. Miss Kareen, the last time I marched in the parade in DC for Memorial Weekend was 2016. And I recall there was no one on the streets. You would see a few people sitting outside on their steps watching as we walked by. That part. That's exactly what we were talking about earlier. Um, and the people um, who's there to see it are just people who lives there, and they're not going nowhere. They can sit in their living room and look out the window. Um, Grateful for it all. It says facts all day long. Uh, Joshua says the one man can't get a significant group of people because he's not doing anything of significance for the people. Absolutely. And that is the ongoing problem. You're not doing a thing, literally nothing whatsoever, nothing at all. And therefore, this is why we have this issue for us. And BNNC says, Josh, it's well said. Very well said. Golden Boy, strawberry lemonade, MBNNC, wormwood tea. Um, Golden Boy saying that because we have strawberries, I said, we got lemonades, I said, or lemons, um, but you need it all. People from different background, different environment, different color coming together to work towards the same objective. Strawberry lemonade, awesome combination. People love it. That's what happens when people work together of two entirely different threads, right? Wormwood tea, bitter, but uh, good for you in so many ways. Um, Golden Boy, we definitely have to challenge because we were for certain within guidelines. um, yeah, uh, we're trying to figure out this whole thing too because we've challenged, and so far we've not um, we've not had any success in getting a successful challenge through. And I think that may be simply regarding their policies, their procedure, um, even with the ones that they uh, taken from us and kind of froze them. Um, we kind of got stuck, but we will see. We will see exactly what they say, and we'll bring that information back. Um, oh boy, many YouTubers go way further than us. Absolutely, absolutely. But that's the thing. This type of situation is give and take, and who knows what they're going to give, and who knows what they're going to take. um, Grateful for it all. Exactly, Brother Lewis. Marcus LaShawn, what's the purpose of your life? And I answered that earlier just to give people a voice to come out and share what it is they would like to talk about or even engage in conversation pertaining to the members of the organization as well as non members, right? Those who are interested in the content. Um, Hurry up, Pastor. You're a good thing. Just walked in. um, Joshua, there was a, oh, I just caught that. Yeah, that was my wife coming in. She's pulling some crazy hours at the hospital. Um, but it is what it is. We make the best of it. And like I said, we're just catching up. So, but thank you. Josh, there was a whole lot of uh, allegedly's going around last night. I can imagine. I forget quite often to share on the videos that this is for educational purposes and informational purposes only. Um, I think, however, they may be looking at um, your channels depending on what it is that you're putting out. If you are saying it so many times that they accept that as labeling the entirety of your channel, that seems to be the case. I don't know. We'll be finding out. But there's a little bit of time that we have to challenge and give them the opportunity to consider reconsidering. Um, but again, we'll see. um, B. Mevderman says he's the world's greatest secret. grateful, grateful for it all. Says LOL. Yeah, talking about Mr. Cunningham being the one man in the land today. the one man in the land today, right? The world's biggest secret, because we know him. No one else knows anything about him to be what he claims to be. Um, Miss Mintz, is that a spin on 702 song, Where My Girl's At? Um, it's a good question. I don't know. I don't know. Janine says, hi, everyone. Pastor Lewis, you're doing right by telling the people the truth. At least their blood will be off your hands. Oh, thank you. We don't want to keep anybody in the dark. We don't want anyone to be in the dark. We just want to make sure that we're putting whatever we can out there for people to consider it. And it's entirely up to you to consider it. But we're going to keep putting it out there. Here we have let me see if we missed any. Okay. 1 second. And on the run, this point. Holy Spirit moving through you. God is with us. God is God's man. Can't trust their propaganda. And almost done. I can hear him fine, loud and clear. Looks like the outside National Archives. Understand that. Just going along to get along. Facts all day. One man, get a significant group of people. Okay, hurry up, Pastor. Your good thing just walked in. A lot of allegedlys. It's the world's greatest secret. Spin. They're doing right by telling the people. Okay. Brother Lewis, into your platform from Zalika. Much respect for the courage the Most High has blessed you with. Continue to stay strong. Absolutely. Thank you so much. We thank you also for your support and for being a part of what it is that we're trying to do. And let me see, there's a song that Albertina Walker and the Caravans used to sing from R. Smith in the 50s. That song was Choose Ye This Day. This is the final chapter. This is the final chapter of the stealing, the pain, and the abuse that has been done. Ooh, the title of that song, Choose Ye This Day, sounds like what Joshua said in the book of Joshua. Was it 24:15? Choose ye this day who you will serve. As for me and my house, we will serve. Lord, is that Joshua 24? Yes. Joshua 24:15. If it seem evil unto you to serve the Lord, choose you this day whom you will serve, whether the gods which your fathers served that were on the other side of the flood, or the gods of the Amorites, in whose land ye dwell. But as for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. And the people answered and said, God forbid that we should forsake the Lord to serve other gods. Choose ye this day. Joshua 24:15. Choice has to be made. Woo. Either Mr. Cunningham or or because he's not presenting you with um, the knowledge of the Father. And skip the whole section of comments. So someone commented, cause you to jump down to the bottom. Uh, and I'm going to go up one more time. This year, I can't go around the truth. Sad, unfortunately, yes, sir. Oh, good. Hey, family. Hello. No. Thoroughly. Happy and enjoyed. Okay. And it looks like we may have covered it. Okay. Yeah, it looks like we covered it. Thank you for that. Appreciate that, Eliza, him and her. Um, okay. So it looks like that may be it. And if that is a little sweet river on the way out, looks like that is all the comments. We want to thank each and every one of you for joining in with us this evening. We just wanted to come and kind of give you an update and let you know where it is that we are, what was going on with us, while you heard from a couple of others. Um, we have Mr. What Do You Believe? Hello, hello, hello. Um, yeah, all right, even if you missed a message or two. Yes, thank you so much, sir. It's good to see you as always. Good to see everyone. And again, I have not made my way through all of the comments yet, the emails yet, my text messages yet, and voicemails. Uh, I should be able to get through them in the morning. Um, and as it stands tonight, my eyelids are heavy, so I will be turning in. But we want to uh, say for all of you all, thank you once again for joining in with us. Thank you for being a part of what it is that we're doing. Help us spread the word by nudging everyone to perhaps come over here and look at a video or two. Check out, I think it's the old video number 68 or 69. I think 68. So the people will know what's going on. I will come back on tomorrow or Friday. And for those individuals that um, are asking questions about what happened, hearing certain things about my testimony pertaining to the hospital, I believe I will be sharing that testimony again, either tomorrow or on Friday evening. If that's all and nothing further, then I want to say have a good evening, everyone. Enjoy the remainder of your night. Have a beautiful night's rest. And we will see you in the next video. Take care, everyone. Have a wonderful night.